Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The World According to Robyn. In this episode, we're diving into obsession. No, not the perfume or the TV show. That's a capital O. Instead, what is obsession? How do we know we're stuck in the headspace? When does love cross the line into obsession? And for fun, how many ping pong balls can you fit into a Mini Cooper? What if you had a cat? Look, a squirrel. Oh, wait, that's ADHD. Wrong show. But hey, ADHD is a subject for a future time. And trust me, we'll get there. But before we get started, I have a little PSA for the trolls. You know who you are. You come here just to stir the pot, seeking out people who are different and harassing them. You thrive on tearing others down, accusing us of being insane or damaged. Guess what? Many of us do seek therapy, not because we're broken, but because we've been bullied our entire lives. For daring to live authentically, no less. Some of us didn't survive that bullying. Others, like me, buried their true selves for years, hoping to avoid judgment. And yet here you are still clinging to your middle school playground antics as if it's a personality. So who really needs therapy? Think about that while you watch this episode on obsession. You might learn something. Oh, and since this topic will undoubtedly attract the usual bullshit, comments are turned off for this video unless you're a mutual follower. All right, let's get started. What is obsession? Let's consult our old friend, the Oxford English Dictionary. Number one, it's the state of being obsessed with someone or something, as in she cared for him with a devotion bordering on obsession. Number two, it's an idea or thought that continually preoccupies or intrudes on a person's mind. He was in the grip of an obsession he was powerless to resist, for example. Similar terms are fixation, ruling passion, mania, compulsion, infatuation, addiction, fetish, craze, hang up, and the list goes on. Now, psychology takes it deeper. According to the APA Dictionary of Psychology, obsession is a persistent thought, idea, image, or impulse that is experienced as intrusive or inappropriate and results in marked anxiety, distress, or discomfort. Now, obsessions can range from harmless quirks, like needing to straighten a picture, to destructive behaviors like bullying someone because you can't process your own emotions. Obsession is on a spectrum. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's screaming in your face. So what about love? Isn't obsessive love romantic? I mean, there's a perfume named after it. Well, not really. Let's break it down with help from WikiHow. Obsession is infatuation, often intense and urgent. Love, on the other hand, is affection, rooted in respect and empathy. According to Dr. Gilman from No CD, here's how you can tell the difference. When it's love, you feel empathy and care toward your partner. You respect their boundaries. You want them to thrive, even if it doesn't benefit you. And you feel safe to be yourself and extend that safety in return. When it's obsession, your feelings are intense, urgent, and anxiety-provoking. You feel possessive or jealous when they spend time with others. Your mood depends on their attention or approval. And you might even change who you are to fit their expectations. Now here's my story. I'll admit it. This one hits very close to home. It was really hard for me to examine this because I had to turn that microscope on myself. When I fell in love with someone, it was incredible. We reflected each other's light, love, and even pain. But over time, I saw myself crossing lines. My feelings became intense, even irrational. I questioned time and time again how we could fall so deeply in love in such a short time. I over-examined it instead of appreciating it for what it was. As a result, I feared losing her. I'd never been possessive, but suddenly I needed to know where she was or what she was doing. I even said at one time, "I'll be whatever you need me to be." That's not love. That's obsession. Recognizing these patterns was hard, but it was necessary. Because if you let your obsession take over, you lose not just your relationship, but yourself. So did you know there's a specific form of OCD called relationship OCD? According to NoCD, RoCD creates intense fear and distress about your romantic partnership, leading to repetitive, unwanted, intrusive thoughts or feelings, anxiety or panic tied to doubts about your relationship, compulsions like constant reassurance seeking or overthinking. So the treatment for this is exposure and response prevention, or ERP therapy. ERP teaches you to confront uncertainties about your feelings and resist compulsions. It's hard work, but it's worth it. It does things like has you speak aloud and question, is this love really real? Instead of internalizing that and making it fear. Examine that out in the open. What's the takeaway? Obsession is a monster. It can sabotage your relationships and your sense of self, but it can be tamed. For me, it's taken introspection and the love of someone who will always be my soulmate, even in her absence. If you're in a relationship, learn to recognize when love is tipping into an obsession. And if you're struggling like I am, know that you're not alone. We're in this together. That's it for this edition of The World According to Robyn. Next time I might share more about my personal journey. I've got an autism evaluation coming up. Until then, this is Robyn Lynn, ending with a grin. Bye-bye.